Today I'm reviewing the Lian Lancool 2 Mesh Full Tower Case. If you're looking for an easy access case with exceptional airflow for your next PC build, then this review is for you. Hello, my name is Styles Watson, and this is Create Tech Reviews, where we offer gear reviews and how-tos for the creative home studio. This is the second video in a series covering a new PC build for audio and video editing and production. I've been running with this build for a little over a month now, and I'm very happy with it. In this series, we'll be covering different aspects of the build, including the pros, cons, costs, and more. If you haven't seen the other videos in the series, I've included links to those in the description below. At the time of purchase, the Lancool 2 Mesh Full Tower Case was retailing for $114.99 at Micro Center, but you may be able to find it slightly cheaper elsewhere. Remember, when you buy any part for a new build, you should buy based on compatibility, purpose, and budget. For me, the most important thing was good airflow, keeping the PC nice and cool. Since this build is using an AMD Ryzen 9 3900 XT CPU without liquid cooling, that meant I needed a case with enough internal space to accommodate a huge Noctua NHD15 CPU cooler. Let's talk specs. This case is a full tower ATX case supporting motherboards of various sizes, including ITX, Micro ATX, ATX, and Extended ATX. The case offers plenty of room for expansion with 3 internal drive bays that can hold either 3.5-inch or 2.5-inch drives, support for up to 9 2.5-inch SSD drives, and up to 7 expansion slots for add-on cards to your motherboard. This case is liquid cooling ready, with top and front radiator mounting options, and easily supports up to 8 120mm chassis fans or 4 140mm fans, or various combinations of each. The front panel and right side bottom shroud are a sturdy mesh, while the back, top, and bottom provide honeycomb venting, which all adds up to exceptional strength, ventilation, and cooling. Unfortunately, the left side bottom shroud is a solid panel without any venting. Even though SSD drives produce significantly less heat than their mechanical counterparts, since you have the option for installing up to 4 2.5-inch SSD drives on the left side of the case, I find it odd that the engineers left no allowance for cooling here. If I wanted to create a RAID and install SSD drives in these slots, I would probably also install at least one chassis fan above the PSU, but maybe that's just me being paranoid. The max supported PSU depth is 210mm or 8.26 inches. The max GPU length is 384mm or 15.11 inches, with a CPU clearance of 176mm or 6.92 inches. The exterior dimensions are 18.82 inches deep, 9 inches wide, and just under 19.5 inches tall. Getting in and out of this case is a breeze. There are no screws or thumb screws to mess with. To open the case, simply reach round the back of the side shroud and pull out, folding them down. Then pull out at the bottom front of the tempered glass side panels, which swing out on sturdy hinges. If you are opening up the case while lying it on its side, you will either need to slide the glass panel off the hinge or place something under the glass for it to rest on, as it does not open far enough to rest on the table. Other than this one minor annoyance, this is by far the easiest case I've ever worked with. Since both of the sides are glass, Lian did a great job of adding well-placed vanity panels on the back side of the motherboard mount so that all the cables can be routed, zip-tied, and then hidden, allowing for a very clean build and improved airflow that looks nice from every angle. Additional ease of use features include an easily removable front mesh panel, toolless front multi-way fan radiator bracket, options for mounting either 2.5-inch SSD drives or 120mm chassis fans above the PSU, a toolless sliding drive cage allowing you to easily adjust the internal drive bay's position to accommodate a large PSU, improve airflow, or make room for a large liquid cooling reservoir, and more. It is important to note that you cannot take advantage of all of these options simultaneously, as a lot of them are either-or options. For instance, the mounting options above the PSU will either support 2 chassis fans or 2 SSD drives, but not both. The same holds true for the front mount fan radiator bracket. As with any build, options are great, but you really need to know what you want to build first and then make sure everything is compatible before you buy. Fortunately, this case layout will accommodate almost any build scenario, so unless you have some very unique build needs, the Lancool 2 mesh will likely work for you. The top panel provides access to the typical power and reset buttons, combo 1/8" headphone and mic jack, as well as 2 USB 3.2 Gen 1 Type A ports, which support transfer speeds up to 5 gigabits per second. And if you're into RGB, the front panel also has C and M buttons to provide access to RGB colors and lighting modes respectively. Out of the box, the front panel also has what Lian calls a Lancool 2 4X port. Aside from the completely weird naming, this is just an empty slot for an optional USB Type-C port. I don't know why this is not included with the case, and at least for me anyway, this is the most annoying thing about this case. Lian does sell an optional 4X 3.1 Type-C cable that connects to your motherboard's 19-pin USB 3.1 or 3.2 header, and it will set you back around $30. This is not an upgrade I currently have, but it will be one that I investigate adding in the future. And again, I really think a working front panel USB-C port should have been included with the standard case. Other options Lian offers for this case include a vertical GPU kit, a side diffused LED strip, an anti-sag GPU bracket, and a hot swappable backplate that accommodates all 3 drives in the drive cage. Before I continue, if you've received value from this review, please like this video. And if you'd like to see more videos like this one, please click the subscribe button below. Okay, my experience with this case was a great one. I found the case well built, well laid out, and extremely easy to work with. Mounting the motherboard was straightforward, and there was plenty of internal space for the Noctua NHD15 CPU cooler. As with any build, you'll need to think through how you're going to route all of your cables. And this case gives you plenty of options for tucking everything away neatly. The vanity panels on the right side of the case are a great touch and allow you to hide all of your cables without requiring you to produce a work of art. This case comes with 3 RGB front chassis fans which work well, but are louder than I wanted. Since RGB is not something that I'm interested in, and I wanted to build a quiet PC for recording audio with the PC in the same room, I swapped out the kit fans for fans which better fit my needs. It is important to point out that this case has no external drive bays. So if you're buying an OS, I recommend that you buy it on a USB thumb drive instead of on a DVD. And it's at this point, depending on your needs, that this case may be a deal breaker. If your use for a PC requires that you use lots of different kinds of physical media, this case might not be for you. The same is true if you're wanting to move existing components into this case, for instance a DVD player. Now it's your turn to join the conversation. Everyone's needs are different, so what do you require in a case, and what questions do you have about the Lancool 2 mesh full tower case? To learn more about the rest of this build, including how I built an ultra-quiet PC, please watch the rest of these videos. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.